just wish I knew what happened in Euphoria season 2. That's so much for a girl to ask. Oh, fuck yeah. Cool, fortune teller. Haha, sweet. Definitely gonna do this here. How much? Okay, 50 cents. Can definitely afford that. Let's see.
Who summons Alexander, the man who knows?
Me? Oh, I'm Paige. What up?
What is your question?
So, there's this HBO show called Euphoria. It's a major hit. You should definitely look into it. Anyways, I just want to know if you know anything about season 2. Literally anything. I will take it. Please. Please help a girl out.
The future is clouded. The spirits say, listen to episode 10 of That's So Euphoric to learn more.
That's kind of bullshit. That's my podcast. I already know everything on it.
Goodbye.
Are you kidding me? Fuck, that's 50 cents. God damn it. What a piece of shit. This is dumb. Ah! Hello, Euphorians! We are back, and we are so stoked to continue with our season 2 predictions. Hope everyone is doing well. What's up, Alex? How you doing?
What it is, Paige. You know, I'm just doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing medium rare.
Usually we start out and give a little, summary of our life, how we're doing, what's going on, and honest to fucking God, nothing has happened. Quarantine is getting more and more, or no, I should say less and less fun. I feel like in the beginning it was like, whoa, this is kind of different. It's a party. And now I'm like, oh my God, the party was over 3 months ago. We're in New York, as you all know, so things are not any better. Nothing's open, which is a good thing. Nothing should be open because we're not ready for that. But Alex and I are just confined to our studio apartment. So honestly, other than getting stoned and drunk all the time and just hanging out, we've been rewatching Star Wars lately, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. I think the only improvement to quarantine over time is our cooking has gotten better. We've definitely upped our food game as quarantine has gone on.
Well, you have.
You have too. You made a banging salad this week.
That's true. Alex and I, we're city people, so we don't usually cook. We're usually out and about. We go to restaurants, bars. It's so rare that we cook a meal. So we're really proud that we've cooked a couple meals in quarantine. But we're not good enough where I would brag about it or share on social media.
Yeah, I mean every few things are pretty good, but
Yeah.
I mean usually we're just eating cereal and Pop-Tarts. So
or rice-a-roni.
Anything we're cooking right now is an upgrade.
Totally. And if you're stoned, it doesn't matter because everything just tastes new and fascinating and great. So it's been fine.
This is true.
Well, I'll just go right into our quarantine for today.
Give us the news.
I know. So what is going on? Well, what's really kind of fun and exciting, which I would not know this, and nor should any of you. I mean, it's not like I keep track of everything Euphoria, even though I'm a super fan. But a year ago today, Euphoria wrapped season 1. That's pretty crazy to think about. When I think about it, I feel like Euphoria has been out for years because I love it so much and I've seen it so many fucking times that I just feel like it's always been part of my life. But it's weird to think it's only been a year.
Yeah.
And it's weird to think we normally would be like so amped for season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Alex knows this. I'm pretty fucking pissed. I just thought of this. I'm mad because this year I was so excited. So I turned 30 in November and I was so amped. I talked about it so many times and Alex is giving me a look. I wanted to have a euphoric birthday.
Yep.
I was gonna have all of my friends. I was gonna like book like the hottest club in New York City.
I was gonna take you to the roller rink.
I know.
Euphoria
That would have been
roller
fun
rink
too.
Vibes, like,
I honestly more yeah, a
hot
roller
club
rink would be fun,
vibes.
but like when you're really drunk and rollerblading, that's like really difficult. So I think club would have been more my scene.
Well,
But
it was gonna be the precursor.
totally
to
love the
club.
thought behind that. It could have been a fun daytime thing leading into the night.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I really was so stoked to have a euphoric birthday. I was gonna have everyone dress up, not as characters, but just like euphoric makeup, like go all out. Like I don't need you coming as a character. That's weird. But like I really wanted it to be like a euphoria night. Like I was gonna literally like hire someone to do my makeup, the works. So like, so fuck quarantine because none of that is happening. And I doubt any clubs will be open in November. I will be shook to the core if that's the case. I don't think it's going to be in New York City, at least.
Doesn't seem like it, but you never know.
But anyways, moving on. So stoked. A year, great for Euphoria cast. And then, we had a couple of interesting incidents happen this weekend.
Oh, did we?
We did.
Like
super
what?
fans were freaking the fuck out because here we are in quarantine. We wake up. Let me set the scene. And Zendaya's Instagram is just gone. You click on her profile. It's like there, but all posts are gone.
You go to do your daily look at Zendaya's Instagram and boy, it's gone.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't looking. I just found out through super fans. I really could give a shit about Zendaya's day to day. I mean, she's a great girl. Love her in Euphoria, but I'm not like, I'm not one of those type of fans. But I did see that this happened, and she was really funny and was on Twitter and was pretty much like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I think someone hacked my account. So everyone was like, of course she didn't really tweet till hours later. So everyone was like, oh my God, like,
oh man,
fan accounts were posting like, Zendaya, it's okay if you need a break. Like, we're here for you.
Oh my God, I'm sure the theories were just rampant.
Yeah, they were rampant.
We could probably do an episode on theories about why Zendaya's Instagram went offline for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't know.
I bet there are some golden theories out there.
It's crazy that people can do that. And it's also crazy that they'd pick like Zendaya of all people. It just seems random to me. Like, I don't think as a hacker I'd feel so accomplished hacking Zendaya's account. Like,
well, you would if she had some juicy shit in there.
Yeah, but she didn't. You know what I mean? So it's like, ugh, whatever.
Yeah.
But, so anyways, what's even weirder is the following day, Sydney Sweeney tweeted that someone's been trying to hack her accounts. And she was, like, super funny about it and, like, clever and snarky. She was like, HBO already leaked my nudes, bitch, so nice try.
Yeah, is this like an orchestrated, like, anti-Euphoria conspiracy? Are they hacking all the Euphoria stars?
I think so.
Who's next?
Fezca. Or
Ashtray?
No, Angus. Yeah, definitely Angus. I think Algie might be next.
Algie is very active on Instagram.
I know.
He could be a target.
That is funny, though. Do you think it's the same hacker? Not that it's important, but I'm like, I kind of want to go with the storyline of this is a hacker that just, like, hates on Euphoria and wants everyone's account hacked. or opposite. Or they love Euphoria so much, they're dying to see if there's any kind of, like...
Oh, they're trying to get a script screenshot or a hint.
A group chat about their characters.
Ooh, now see, this is a good fan theory right here.
It is.
All right.
I think it's really good.
That's a good theory.
But anyways, so after that, I wrote down that Cassie had a Barstool Sports interview with, I think it's called like Chicks in the Office. But she just once again reiterated that her character in season 2 does go through a really gnarly... I don't know. I feel like we don't know what Cassie's season 2 predictions are, because if Sydney Sweeney couldn't even think of it, then how the fuck are we supposed to know? I hope that we have good guesses. But she essentially said that Sam Levinson called her before the table read. They only had one table read, right? Like, literally the timing could not be weirder. It was literally a week before Chrome hit. Yeah. So they had their full table read, and then that would suck. Then you just have to go home and sit with it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that actually might be better, though? Because then you're, like, sitting with your characters, like, you know what your character's going to go through, so you have more time to plan? Or do you think it's almost worse?
I think they always have plenty of time. These
True.
things take so long to get off the ground, and by the time you're filming your first scene, it's been months since the table read.
Totally.
They're fine.
But now they have months on months on months to prepare, so they better not fuck it up.
I mean, they can overthink it, I guess. They can really overthink it.
But yeah, she answered a question. They were just like, please, everybody wants to know, yada yada, what's going to happen in season 2. She gave the same fucking answer, like, it's going to be dark, but she also emphasized that she had absolutely no, like, she did not even think that what happened to her character happens.
Keep that in mind
as we go forward.
Listeners.
Then we have a huge congratulations to our boys, Tio and Tamero, a.k.a. Roy and Troy.
Yeah.
Also known as Tristan and Tyler in the real world.
Yeah.
They graduated just like their sister, Gia, or one of their girlfriends, Storm, who plays Gia, because they're kind of like...
They're kind of maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be, like, dating in the next season.
Gia's got to have better taste, though.
Yeah, but also they're funny. I always say that, but I feel like their characters are funny, the twins.
They're dicks to Rue.
They are.
Like,
they suck.
Yeah.
You're right. They suck, but I think they're funny. So I'm always like kind of
still
team
so
twins.
weird that those are McKay's brothers.
I know.
You really?
God, I'm dying to talk to them about it.
So we just finished rewatching the whole season. I would never have known that those were McKay's brothers. You would not fucking know that.
Literally never. And they never talk about it.
No. They're not at all in McKay's episode when they're talking about, like, his past and his life. They're not in that at all.
They're not cheering him on with the dad or anything.
No. They are, like, you would really not know that they're his brothers.
And
I don't feel stupid for not knowing.
No, and to give McKay credit where credit's really never given. I do think McKay has a better character and is more, like, morally acceptable than the twins. Meaning, like, not to say every family member's the same, but they're so far off. Like,
yeah, I mean, McKay is definitely has some sus issues, but they're a lot cruder.
Okay, for example,
a lot shittier.
We are right in not knowing and not giving a shit that they're brothers, because in the scene where they're watching Cassie's fucking porno, the twins are, like, commenting on it and being dicks, and if that was your brother, you'd be like, hey, little bro, shut the fuck up. That's who I'm about to date. Or, like, hey, little bro, you shouldn't be here. But he never even, like, says a word. I never thought of that. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah, of course.
Weird.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. They graduated. We went off. But they graduated a year early. So, boys, we are so proud of you. That is hot. That's hot. That's euphoric. Yeah. Also, we are dying to interview them. So, we already messaged them. But, like, boys, where are you at? Like, you're out of school. We're here.
Hit us up.
I just want to ask. Like, I have so many questions for them. I just love them.
Tio and Tamero, hit us up.
Hit us up in the DMs. We want to know, like, now that you're graduated, you have plenty of time. Don't you want to be interviewed on a top-notch podcast? I mean, come on.
Come on.
Then we had Angus was having a lot of fun this weekend. He had a photo shoot at McDonald's. It's not really a photo shoot. He was just, like, dicking around at McDonald's. But, like, honest to God, Alex and I were pretty jealous because McDonald's has never sounded better.
Yeah, I could fuck with a Big Mac right now.
Yeah, like, we usually are not McDonald's people, but seeing that photo, I was like, fuck, I miss, like, food, restaurants, fast food, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
So
Big Mac
good.
right now would...
I know, we can't even talk about it. Or the French fries.
I gotta stop.
Oh, the French fries.
We just gotta stop. We gotta move on. What else?
Honestly, other than that, I don't have much. The only other thing I was gonna mention was Storm, who plays Gia. Her and her mom had, like, a cute little... She posted a photo today of her and her mom, like, flexing, and they both looked really hot. They had, like, designer on, and she was like, my mama was, like, fly, or something like that.
Are they jacked?
I mean, okay, Storm is, like, she works out every day.
Is she a fitness girl?
I don't think she's a fitness girl. I just think quarantine has, like, made her, like, she's killing it in every aspect of her life. So quarantine was a time for her to now also be like, I'm gonna kill it in the
really
fitness
focus
game.
on her quads or maybe her triceps or something.
I am quite
The traps. She got real big traps.
No, but I am quite
Gotta get the
jealous.
big traps.
You would like her setup. I should show you later. Her Instagram, she posted a story how she moved her treadmill outside and she runs outside. And I'm like, that's genius because she doesn't want to leave her home. She's being good. She's quarantining.
I would do that if
and
I
was
had
like,
a
that's hot.
treadmill
That's
or
great.
an outdoor area or
She's
a desire to run on a
She literally
treadmill.
has a boombox out there and she like works out and she does these little videos where she like, she's really cute because you can tell she's young. She's very like positive and very like talks to her fans and is like, if you can even just get outside for like a minute, do it. And I'm like, I'm not going outside. I'm not doing a workout, but I like cute. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of Disney-esque.
Very Disney.
Other than that, no. I think we just kind of dive right back in and start where we left off with season 2. And I'm going to let Alex like really head this one again because I didn't do shit. I didn't do any of the research. So
cool. Well, as you guys remember, if you listened last week, we are in the middle of a 2-parter. We're talking season 2. We're talking theories. We're talking predictions, rumors, facts, everything we know, everything people think they know, all the wildest shit I could dig up on the internet that people think is going to happen in season 2.
We've got it. Including
some theories sent to us by our lovely fans. So last week we kind of covered what we do know about season 2. We talked about some theories, and then we were going character by character. So we covered the main characters last week.
Yep.
So now we're kind of on to the side cast. So let's start it off with our boy Fez.
Okay.
Our boy Fez, there's a lot of theories about him, but basically all of them amount to Fez is going to die in season 2.
Really?
A very common fan theory is... Well, okay, so I found this really interesting. A lot of people read his ending in season 1 as he was about to be murdered by Mouse, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Right?
Well, he delivers the money to Mouse.
And the blood's on the dollar bills.
Yeah, but Mouse is a gangster. He doesn't care what Fez did to get the money. He wants to get paid. So Fez is, in my eyes, Fez is fine at the end of season 1. Is Fez going to die in season 2? I mean, given his lifestyle, it's technically very plausible.
Of course.
He's kind of a fan favorite at this part, so I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks around past season 2. But a lot of people think he's going to die during season 2, and that's not a bad guess. So here's some theories. Fez is going to be murdered by rival gangsters. Very plausible.
Yeah, especially after he
ripped off that doctor.
Yeah.
We don't know who that guy's connected to, what he's part of. So this is plausible.
Very Breaking Bad.
Fez is going to get murdered by Mouse. This is obviously super plausible.
Yeah.
Fez is going to murder Mouse. This one, I'm a big fan of. I think season 2, Fez is going to have him. It's going to come down to Fez has to kill Mouse or everything is going to get fucked up. It's going to be like bad, like Ashtray's going up, he's going up, shit's going real bad unless he kills Mouse. And I think he's going to kill Mouse. So,
not to go too off topic,
I'm a
but
fan of this theory.
Don't you kind of want to know more about his backstory in terms of not just like his story, but like I want to know why his grandma's the one in the house. Like, where are their parents? There's just so much we don't know.
Who knows? We don't even know Ashtray's relation to him, but
yeah, like I said, I just wanted to like briefly bring that up.
Luckily, we're gonna get a Fez episode in season 2, according to Sam Levinson.
Can't wait. I'm actually really excited to see his backstory.
Yeah,
probably more than any of the other characters.
Same. But yeah, I think the him murdering Mouse theory is pretty likely. There's another one that I actually really like. That's Mouse is going to kill Fez, but Ashtray shoots Mouse first. Which I like that theory a lot because Ashtray is always like chilling in the background. We know he's strapped,
a badass,
and
he's always keeping his eyes open.
We know he's also a badass. Like, and it would be a real interesting story arc to have that kid have to kill Mouse to save Fez, and then have to deal with like having killed someone at age like 8 or whatever.
How old he is? I think he's definitely older than 8.
Whatever, but that's an interesting storyline.
I think he's like 12 or 13. That would
and
be
it
my
also
guess.
like makes sense. Oh, he's not that old. He's not 13.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. All right. So that kind of wraps up the plausible theories for Mouse. So here are the...
Mouse or Fez?
Or for Fez, excuse me. So here's the real wild ones. This one says, Fez is in love with Rue and her being fluid, and Rue falls for him.
No.
So are Fez and Rue going to become star-crossed lovers in season 2 and realize they've loved each other all along?
Absolutely not.
No.
They have
a very clear-cut friendship.
Clear-cut friendship, also brother-sister friendship, and Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. But if it did, it would be like so fucking stupid because it's so their friendship is so valuable. I
Yeah.
also think
No,
it's
I
fucked
don't buy
up that
this at
so many
all.
of our predictions from last episode mentioned Rue and Fez falling out. I do not at all see that happening. I think their relationship is way too strong, and this is going way too far. But if I'm gonna be a psycho super fan in this moment, the table read, there's only one photo from the table read, and it's her and Fez sitting next to each other, Zendaya and Angus, and they're cracking up. Would they be cracking up if their characters
Well,
were not doing well?
they were only table reading episode 1, so who knows?
Oh.
But
Okay. Well,
I don't
still,
really buy that either. I
think it's
I
stupid.
don't buy it. I mean,
No.
hypothetically, anything could happen that could pit them against each other, but I don't really see
But
it
why?
happening.
Yeah, no.
This person thinks that Fez is gonna date Cassie,
So stupid.
which I find completely fucking ludicrous.
Also, Cassie never even has once, not once,
like
all
I
through
don't.
Euphoria.
Fez is not Cassie's type.
Oh,
and Cassie,
other than buying drugs at the carnival, that's it.
yeah, I mean, but no, this is
So
we don't
stupid.
even need to say why.
Maybe
It's
that's the
fucking
weird
ridiculous.
thing, though. Maybe that's why she's freaking out about her character. Maybe her
All of season 2 is like an intense like love
Romance?
story between Cassie and Fez.
No, that's
No,
not happening.
I don't buy
it's
this.
so stupid.
Another theory from one of our users at Boo Amelia is that Fez is gonna date Lexie.
No.
Which I think is kind of on the same page. Like, what about season 1 led you to think that Lexie and Fez were like a good fit for each other and we're gonna end up dating?
Yeah, like optimistic
Their
and
worlds
cute.
are pretty far apart.
Yeah, optimistic and cute, but no, it's not gonna happen. You can't make fetch happen. That's just not a thing.
Yeah.
And Lexie and they
Yeah.
don't have anything in common.
Yeah. All right, so that wraps it up for Fez. So now we are on to Kat.
Did you want me to also? We have that one really long one I missed last week. Do you want me to save that for last? I have that.
Oh, yeah.
Our fan that wrote in. It is kind of about fetch. Should I just really quickly read
Yeah,
it?
let's get it now. We got
Okay.
a full season theory, one of the that's come in since last week. So hit us up.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that I slipped last week, but this is Megan _ S20. So sweet. She said, "Hey, I love your podcast. This may seem a bit crazy, but I've got some theories." Great, we want to
Let's
hear
hear
'em.
him, girl.
Let's hear him, girl. I think that Fez will get caught doing what he did in the last episode, but he gets caught by a bad police officer and trades in information about the whole Nate, Jules, Maddie, and Tyler situation to be released early. But he will still face charges. The police will hunt down Nate, but not in a cop show chase type thing. More about his relationship with the world, and his dad will get shown. His dad will end up admitting to him and Nate murdering the little brother, so little Bean. Because that honestly...
Beans was murdered by Nate and Cal.
That's what
Damn.
Megan thinks. Because that honestly seems plausible. And then the cops will go after Jules, but she'll still be in the city with Anna, and Anna will leave her, and she will be alone and will try and find Rue. But now Rue feels betrayed by Jules, so she can't trust her. So Rue will start using more hardcore drugs and will have an influence on Gia. I also think Lexie will try and become closer to Rue again, but Rue will push her away and will start to feel really down. Okay, this one I like. She says Cassie will try not to fall in love with any guy because, she ends up risking her chances with the perfect guy. Meaning, like, she's so independent.
What?
Yeah, I read it wrong. Again. Cassie will not fall in love with any guy like she said she would, and ends up risking her perfect chance with the perfect person.
So like someone really good for Cassie comes along, but she's like, no, I'm like
too independent.
Not doing that guy thing anymore, so she bails on like a guy that's a good fit for her.
Which I love. I actually really think that could be a thing.
I could see that for sure.
McKay will come
She's
back.
Pretty scarred by now.
Yeah, like after the abortion and everything, I could see her being kind of like, I'm in the single life.
Yeah, I could see that.
McKay will come back to try and get with Cassie, but will end up being really mean to her because of the whole rapey Halloween situation. I don't know if she means the Daniel.
Yeah.
I think that's what she means.
No, I think she means McKay, like, is not in a good place to, like...
After that.
Yeah, he's still, like, too angry and fucked up from that to, like...
Absolutely. This part's a little funny. So all of that I'm like right there for. Like Megan, I'm on the same page.
The Cassie theories, I'm gonna go euphoric on those.
Same.
The rest of that, I don't know.
Well, no, the last one I'm gonna I do have to say it's not euphoric and just laugh about it. She's like, Kat will try her best to keep up with Ethan, but will end up ruining it. I do think that's euphoric. Yeah. But then the last thing Megan has to say is, but she will end. Just an idea. Ethan and Lexie will get together.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know about that.
But also so cute. She ended it with, okay, that's a lot. Just an idea. I love you guys and your podcast. Thank you, Megan. We love you. And thank you so much for writing
Yeah,
in.
that's awesome. Like, super appreciate the theories there and the thought that went into that. And
Yeah, that was like an essay.
There's some good ass theories in there. Like, I like what she has to say about Cassie a lot. I think those are all like super
And
plausible.
Kat will definitely ruin it with
I also
Ethan.
like that she thinks Nate and Kyle killed Beans. I don't think that at all, but I think it's funny, and
Yeah.
I mean,
like the
we really. I mean, Nate and Kyle are fucking crazy, so nothing's really out of the question. I don't know. Maybe they killed Beans.
And like I said earlier, I do think the Kat and Ethan thing is very accurate. I don't think Kat is in a position to like really give her full self to Ethan.
I think they're gonna have a hard time.
Yes.
In, season 2.
Yep. But anyways.
Yeah. So speaking of Kat, let's jump into our cat theories here.
Meow.
Most of them center on the creepy anonymous black screen camera that she talks to.
Makes sense.
Which was obviously a creepy moment. As I've said in previous episodes, I think that interaction is going to go one of two ways. Either that was the wake-up call and she's done, or that's going to come back to really haunt her. I mean, not like that's some genius thing. It's pretty obviously one of the two, but here we got all the theories about how that's going to come back to bite her. So this person thinks that the creepy anonymous camera is going to figure out her identity and stalk her.
I think that could happen.
Which is going to fuck things up with Ethan, which I think is pretty valid.
Yeah,
especially, I'd say that's euphoric.
Especially with the only thing we know is that it's a dark season. I could definitely see that being like a really creepy, something else going on that's kind of scary.
Yep.
But Ethan, what's funny about Ethan is like, Ethan's not like the strong, like, you wouldn't throw Ethan on like a criminal, you know what I mean?
Oh, so, yeah, like, sorry.
I don't really think he's going to be one to be like involved in the plot.
He's smart though, so.
That's true.
And I've got to say, brains are a little lacking in the Euphoria crew.
Yeah.
We could use somebody with half a brain.
Agreed.
in the mix
I'm not
here.
dissing him. I'm just laughing that someone would even involve Ethan with like a top-notch criminal. Like it's just not really like.
So this is from one of our followers at Manshabasin52. They think Kat is going to be exposed at school by the creepy anonymous cam person for being on the porn site and doing cam work and stuff, which I would say is equally likely. Like that could very much play into this person fucking up her life.
So she'll get in trouble or something? She'll be like
just blasting it, so now it's like the whole school knows, you know.
Yeah. I can see that. I don't think that the only reason I'm like is because it's already kind of happened and the principal shut it down pretty quick. Principal Hayes told Dick.
We'll hear a little bit about Principal Hayes here in a second. But so this person says the creepy anonymous camera is Nate or Cal because he said, "You're so beautiful," like they do.
I mean, that's creative as fuck though.
It's creative, I guess, but let's look at it this way. Nate and Cal are both busy as fuck. They have a lot of shit going on in their lives right now.
Do.
Both of them are not exactly straight.
No, and they're not. They can't.
So I have a really hard time seeing Nate or Cal diverging from all the crazy shit they're both involved with to
now harass
Cam
Kat.
with Kat without any objective. Kat is nothing to either of them.
No.
They don't gain anything by fucking with Kat.
They're already
neither of them are into Kat. No. So
they don't even talk to her.
This is just nonsense.
Stupid.
This is not euphoric.
No.
This is one of my favorite theories of all. The creepy anonymous camera is Aaron Jacobs. This person said, but seriously, I think it's Nate's brother, Aaron. Unlimited money, kind of creepy, convincing personality, I guess runs in the family. And
what a theory.
I was shocked, but a lot of people were like, oh yeah, this totally makes sense. And people were jumping on this theory as if this made any fucking sense in the world. This is the worst theory on this list, possibly. It's fucking ludicrous. He was on screen for maybe 20 seconds in season
We know nothing
1.
about him. That's what I was going to
say.
say.
We know absolutely nothing about him.
Well, we not only know nothing about him, but the very, very little we do know, he's the coolest one in the fucking family. He's definitely not the one that's on the fucking dark web cam watching Kat twerk in a cat mask.
What is his possible motive to be on cam with Kat?
There is none.
It's insane.
It's silly. It's funny though. I mean,
It's fucking ridiculous.
I'm just sorry. I'm like laughing, I'm trying to formulate words to like even fight that theory, but it's so dumb that I can't find the words.
I know. This person just said, Kat continues her video freak show.
This was on Reddit too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything that I don't say is from one of our fans is just from Reddit or the internet.
Got it.
This one is a joke, but I thought this was very funny. They said Detective Bennett finds the guy who is video calling Kat, and it is the principal.
Ah, I knew it. I told you, Principal Hayes.
It's Principal Hayes all along.
Principal Hayes is pissed that Kat put him in a position where he felt like he was in the wrong because she was like, "Are you fat shaming me?" And then he was put in the corner.
So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna."
So he goes home and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna create an account and change my get one of those voice changers."
Oh man, yeah, this is such a bad. I mean, this is a joke, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's funny.
But this is like the kind of shit that shows up in like the really, really bad teen like suburban drama shows, where you can't have a side character without having them get involved in the main plot in some ludicrous way. The principal can't just be the principal. He has to also be like a fucked up killer or some shit, like, or a pedophile or like a cam stalker. Like, that's so like stupid. The type of shit you see on like
Riverdale.
Yeah, or Riverdale. Like, what's the really, really bad one? Pretty Little Liars.
So many bad ones. Yes.
And there's no side character that can be on the show without some insane fucking ridiculous backstory.
Yeah, those shows are so below Euphoria. It's like you can't even
Luckily, this one was a joke, but...
They say, like, what, apples to oranges?
This stuff happens,
That's like apples to fucking shit. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so we're really going to get into the thick of the absurd theories here, because we're moving on to Lexie.
Oh God, poor Lexie. Like she's such a great female, like cute, like I wouldn't even say side character, but she kind of is in season 1. We don't get a lot of her backstory,
she's totally
so she
a side
is.
Character.
And it's like, why do people have? I'll just let you continue, but oh my God, the theories I've heard, even just from you telling me a little bit about your research, I just have to die. Like,
so I'm gonna preface this by saying 2 things. One, almost every single theory about Lexie makes me feel like that meme of that girl, the confused girl who's just kind of like holding out her hand and her neck looks really long, and she's just like, what? Like, every single theory I read about Lexie makes me feel like that meme. And here's the thing. All these theories, we see so little of Lexie in season 1. Like, we see very little of her, and people essentially have taken what's on screen and spun off every possible random thing, and anything you could say about Lexie based on what we see on screen could and most likely would be explained by her just being a regular teenager. But the internet has spun like every second that she's on screen out to its like wildest possible conclusion and been like, this means this, like this means this crazy thing. It's like, those are like technically possibilities, but we have zero evidence on screen to support any of this.
We haven't even gotten an episode on our girl.
So without further ado, here we go. The big one, we all know, Lexie is in love with Rue.
Oh.
Like, what'd you say?
With Fezco, because that's what we just read.
That's not the, like, big common
That's what Megan,
theory.
our user,
That's
wrote,
an absurd, wild, down the road theory.
Okay.
The big one is that Lexie is in love with Rue.
Rexie.
Yeah. Like I said, any interaction we see between them in season 1 totally makes sense within the context of them just being normal friends. But somehow the internet has decided that she is lesbian and is completely in love with Rue, and they're hooking up in season 2.
Yeah, I don't think they do a good enough job. Like, I don't know how to say this. I do understand why some fans think this because of that one fucking scene where they make out. But here's the thing. When you're young, you're curious, you're trying to figure your shit out. Like you said, that's such a normal teenage thing. Like, I made out with my friends jokingly, and like, you know, you experience it and it's funny, you do it again, or you're learning. It's like, you know, to each their own, but it definitely doesn't mean they're like, you know, in a romantic situation and that Lexie all of a sudden, and they don't really... The other problem with all of this is that they don't show her sexuality at all because we know nothing about her. Exactly. She's a side character.
That's the problem, is we know close to nothing, and what we do know can be interpreted in almost any way.
Exactly.
And the most logical explanation is that she's just a classic teenager.
Yep.
Is it possible she's lesbian and is in love with Rue? Of course it is.
But it's kind of outlandish.
That could totally be played out in season 2, but we have no fucking idea. This is based on nothing.
Yeah, totally.
So the next one is... there's all these just like kind of vague things. People say gay realization arc, major lesbian awakening happening
No,
here.
no.
So that's kind of all in that same world.
Not in a bad way, but I'm just like, no, like, I don't really see it. That's
Like,
not
possible, but like very,
No.
very, I mean,
See, you say possible. I
basically,
don't even really think so. They haven't given us anything to like even imagine that that's
well, that's
what's
the thing.
her
We know
story.
nothing, so technically anything is possible.
True.
We know basically nothing about Lexie, so of course she could be lesbian. Like,
Yeah,
but
she
we have
could be a
no
lot of
fucking
things.
clue. There's nothing that supports this theory. This is so a lot of people also think Lexie is asexual, and I have no idea why. I can't find a shred of evidence
No.
or a thing that anyone
No.
has ever pointed to be like, oh, that's why.
This is what I don't like about some of these theories is it's like, it's cool to be creative, and even if they're funny, I just want something to back it up. That's why some of our
Right.
like fans that have reached out, I'm not even so much being easy on them. I'm more just like, okay, like this connects to this, so
Right.
that I could see.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Look, there's theories which are based on things, and then there's just
shit.
saying anything,
Yes.
like just wildly throwing some shit out there.
Exactly.
So, and a great example of just throwing some shit out there, Lexie is an asexual lesbian, so she's romantically in love with Rue or women, but has no interest in sex. So, you know, based on
that would suck.
based on what we've seen of Lexie in season 1, I'm getting heavy asexual lesbian vibes from her. Yeah,
That hurts
no.
my head.
Sorry, sweaty.
Ugh, that's
Big no from
that's
that
just
one.
yeah.
Here's
that's
another
not
one.
euphoric.
Nate's date from the prom in the last episode, whose name is Natalie, is a lesbian, and she and Lexie hook up on prom night. So, yeah, somehow from them being on the same screen at the same time for probably about 10 seconds when that girl's sitting at the table,
Yeah.
this person's like, bam.
Bam. They're hooking
Love
up.
connection. She's lesbian even though she's at the date with the dance with Nate.
And is crying because
Lexie
Nate left her.
is definitely lesbian, and they're gonna hook up right there. Prom night, done.
Prom night, yeet. No, that is so stupid.
Here's
Not
another.
euphoric.
Here's another one. Lexie is on the autism spectrum.
What? Why? Not like once again, like just so out of the fucking blue. Like there's nothing to support.
People are like,
that.
oh, she's kind of awkward. It's like, well, that can
Could be many
you could
things.
look at that and say, yeah, she's just a teenager. She's a little awkward. Or you could say she's definitely autistic.
Yeah, that
Like,
is so dumb.
yeah, it's possible, but it's probably the least likely
it's
explanation.
not possible. It's not. This is so dumb. Like, no. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm going to be the one to
fucking
say it. That
ludicrous.
is not a thing. Like, do your research. That's just not a thing. And
fucking
also,
ludicrous.
what have we said from the beginning? Euphoria is a show. I always take so much pride in telling my friends this. Because Alex knows this. I like a lot of trash TV, like jokingly. Like I like reality. I like even when you mentioned Pretty Little Liars, I'm like, I watched the fucking shit out of that show. But it's awful. I always admit when a show's not good. Euphoria is not one of those shows. So I take pride in that they don't just throw characters around and go, you know what? Next season, Lexie, autistic.
Yeah. Hey,
like,
you know Lexie? Yeah, she's autistic
she's
now.
going to come out autistic, and then
Yeah, she's
Rue's going to be
also-
diabetic, and then so-and-so is going to be a lesbian, and they're going to fall in love with Principal Hayes. It's just like, no, this is not that kind of show. It's more well thought
Principal
out.
Hayes, who's also an asexual lesbian.
Well, it's more realistic. It's like those things, like you said, it's like life. Those things
a
exist in the
lot.
world, but like they don't need to exist in every fucking show. Like they can tell a real story and just have it be a story. It doesn't have to be a political agenda where they're like, let's fit in every disease,
Oh, yeah.
sexual orientation that we can fit into a show, which
Yeah.
a lot of shows fuck up, and Euphoria
There's some
doesn't.
more. There's
Rant
some more of
over.
that later, but like the gist of it is like these are all great stories that need to be told, but there is a difference between finding the stories that are right, that fit into the
the
story you're
narrative.
telling, that makes sense, that you can tell accurately, and then there's shows that feel like they just like rummage around in the grab bag of social issues and throw fucking anything they can come up with at the wall and just be like, yeah, now we've got this. Now we got this fucking
Yeah, now
thing.
she's a teen
Now we
mom.
got
It's like,
this."
oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's like, okay, does any of that make sense with the story you're
No.
telling? Does it contribute? Can you tell like valid stories there?
No.
So
And I think you agree with me on that.
we get
the
a few
fact
more.
that Euphoria doesn't do
Yeah,
that.
I don't think so. And we get a
No.
few more of those later. So get ready.
Oh, God.
Here's our last Lexie theory. Lexie dates McKay. I don't think we need to say anything else.
No,
about
I think
that
you can
one.
just move on. That's so dumb. Also, but the only thing I will say is it is really cute when McKay knows her costume and like gives her a little
Yes.
like Oh, damn, girl. Not in a romantic way. I'm just saying that's a cute
romantic
moment.
Interest
So
there,
maybe there'll be one thing. Oh, okay. One prediction that would make more sense to say rather than being in love. Why don't you just say they hang out? Maybe they'll become homies.
See, that would make sense.
Maybe they'll go to a dive bar together and like get fucked up, and he'll give her advice on like how to get guys because he's more suave.
That would make sense, but no, they're gonna date Paige.
No.
All right, so now we're on to Cassie. We just have a few for her. This person thinks Cassie will find God, which sounds fucking ludicrous on the surface, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I find this one slightly plausible. I think if there was any character in Euphoria that was gonna take the religious
become like
route,
a Bible thumper,
it's Cassie. I think she's well positioned. She's had the abortion. She's had like the rough upbringing, but she's a good girl at heart, and she doesn't enjoy that lifestyle. I think she would be the one to find like comfort and stability in like a Christian like environment and get really into being really Christy.
I do see that, but I'm also like, poor Sydney Sweeney. Wouldn't that suck to read your table read and you go from being this hot, like awesome badass bitch to like a Jesus humper?
I could see it. I could see her being like a born again virgin. She's like, I'm wiping the abortion clean. I'm wiping all this clean. I'm going to save myself for marriage now.
Maybe it gets a purity ring.
So weirdly,
I could see it.
I can see this one.
I can too. And you know what? That would make sense because Sydney Sweeney was like, I don't know what the fuck is happening with Cassie. Like, it's so outlandish to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that is... I don't think it's likely, but I definitely find this reasonable.
Yeah.
This person says, I think Cassie will either be straight edge, kind of like we said, or she's the next to get hooked on opioids.
No. I think it's actually, you're right. I think it is more likely that she'd be straight edge or like a Jesus humper than it would be for her to be a drug addict. And I also don't like overall the umbrella arc of everyone just deciding that a character is an addict just because Rue is. It's like, dude, you don't just wake up one day and go, I'm an addict. Like,
and obviously her dad but she has shown zero tendencies to that thus far, and I don't really see it happening.
No.
So
what's next?
All right, now we're on to Maddie.
Okay.
This person thinks Maddie will attempt to use the video against Nate and fail immediately and have it turn back on her. She is way too stupid and selfish to actually manage to do something good or useful, which is one of my other favorite theories because it's so accurate about Maddie. Like, I think this is very possible that she does try to use the video against them, but she's too dumb to pull it off.
On that note, I actually meant to tell you this earlier. One of our followers, I think it's like Euphoria Confessions, they like essentially write in what they think about characters and then that person like puts it on their story.
Yeah.
Someone wrote into Euphoria Confessions and said, everyone is so obsessed with Maddie and her outfits and her makeup, but no one ever says she's just a shitty person. And I thought, was that you that wrote that?
It wasn't, but it could have been.
But I thought it was funny because I was kind of like in my head, like touche, because literally no one ever actually says that. Everyone just stands Maddie like really hard. And they're right. It is because of her. She is the most like glamorous and like fun, I would say. Mm-hmm. You know? Yep. But anyways, I just thought that was funny. It made me think of you, and I was like, was that Alex?
That is really funny. I like this theory because it's like pretty realistic. Like, I feel like if this was all real, that's what would happen. I think because it's a show, she might try to use it against them, but I think she'll have some degree of success. But I feel like if this were the real world, her character would try this and would just fuck it up because she'd be too stupid.
Oh my god.
So I actually really like that theory. This theory is that Maddie blackmails Cal and then Nate kills her.
Maddie blackmails Cal.
With the tape, you know.
And then who kills her?
Nate.
That would really suck because that would mean that Alexa Demi would die. Spoiler alert, would die in 2 A24 films. 2 A24 productions.
Wow, spoiler alert.
I mean, it's not spoiler alert, so...
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I think it's
You don't think she might die of any of the characters?
It's a little ludicrous, but it's plausible.
Also, excuse me
Nate has shown that he'll go to some... Oh, yeah.
Excuse me opening my seltzer. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Oof. and it's spiked, so don't worry, kids. This is not LaCroix, or what does Maddie call it? Speaking of Maddie.
She calls it...
a LaCroix. It's a LaCroix, but she calls it a LaCroix.
I don't really know how it's actually pronounced, but everyone just says
Everyone
LaCroix,
says LaCroix,
so
though. But anyway, you know, cherry rolling papers and a LaCroix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So we got another one that says Maddie blackmails Cal with the CD for money, then takes her girls out for a treat. Kat is proud of Maddie's descent into bankrupting men. So Maddie is just like, give me a bunch of money and this is cool. And then she just takes everybody out to celebrate the money.
That actually is a great theory. I mean, it's kind of silly, but that's something Maddie would do, though.
It's pretty funny, but yeah.
Can't you see her doing that? Blackmailing him for money? I could absolutely see that.
Yeah.
Especially because she wants to get out of her parents.
That would kind of be the better way to go about this, because if it was just a one and done payoff, Cal would probably do it to keep everything hush-hush, and she wouldn't be getting super involved in some big conspiracy. Just a quick one and done, $100,000,
yep.
Videos burned. Not a bad deal for everyone involved.
I love that she's like taking her girls out on this like treat. Like,
and Kat is proud of her descent into bankrupting men. What a sentence.
Well, yeah, because then maybe Maddie and Kat will like come together and like bond
They'll
over
be
like
financial dominatrixes together.
Yeah,
maybe.
I see it in the future.
All right, here's another one. Maddie grows into the woman she's supposed to be, with her self-esteem growing exponentially. Like, what woman is she supposed to be, and what is causing her self-esteem to grow exponentially?
Yeah, also, that's
right.
So dumb. It also sounds like, first of all, I always laugh when anyone calls someone that young of age a woman. Like, she's literally a teenage girl in a high school show. She's not some woman who's like 17 sprouting. Or 18. Yeah, she's not even a senior yet, right? Or she is? I don't know. Who cares? Still too young to be called a woman.
One of our followers, @Maria Constain, thinks we're going to get a new love interest for Maddie.
I absolutely agree.
I agree, and I think we'll see.
I hope it's the roller rink guy.
We'll see a little down the line who I think the new love interest will be. And our last theory for Maddie is that she helps Tyler, which I find pretty unlikely. I think she's way too shitty to do anything altruistic, like helping poor Tyler. But
poor Tyler's fucked.
She is in a position to help Tyler having the tape.
So is Jules, though.
Jules doesn't have the tape, though.
No, but I'm saying Jules could also help Tyler. I think Jules is more likely.
Jules can redact her confession, which seems a little more likely.
It does. Maddie's not helping anybody out but herself.
I don't think so.
No.
And for our last character, we got Gia, and there's only one theory about her, which is that she's going to rebel and become a drug addict. Which
I know, that is repeated.
Is from our user @Malika.
Just spell it.
_. I don't find that one very likely.
I don't either, but to be fair to our fan who wrote this, every fucking fan out there thinks this. And I here's the thing. I think Gia will be emotionally really fucked up from all of this, but that doesn't mean she's going to be a drug addict. And
right.
She also is seen, I think when you're in that situation, I've always said, who is Gia's character? She is literally, if none of y'all have seen Waves, she is literally the sister that kind of goes through that, of having like an older sibling that's kind of fucking up and like doing bad shit.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't, it's very uncommon in real life for that to be a case of that younger sibling going down a dark path.
Just jumping on the bandwagon.
No, because you see it all play out. You see what happens. Yep. You almost get a precursor. It's like, oh, okay, I should not do this.
I feel like more often than not, realistic family dynamics are that the younger sibling in that situation ends up being so responsible for the family all the time that they become like, they mature early.
Faster.
Like, they're the ones that had to grow up too fast to take care of their older, like, fuck up sibling and their mom and all their crazy shit. And those are usually the people that are like, fuck no, like, none of that for me. No, thank you.
I am really excited, though. Not because I think there's going to be, like, all these fans think everything has to be so dramatic. I'm not excited because I think there's going to be all these, amazing things about Gia we don't already know. I'm excited to see her because I do think it's important to show those roles.
The effects on those people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you and I both have people in our lives that have been affected by that. I mean, that are really close to us. So I think
Yep.
it's an interesting story to tell that's very real and true to life. So no,
Yeah.
I do not
And
think
I think
Gia's going to become an addict and
Right.
like go to rehab.
Yeah. And I think we'll see more of that because Gia's going to get her own episode, as we heard.
Yeah. I kind of also, low key, I hope that she's like smoking weed and like chilling out. She deserves
She has
it.
been so far. Her and Roy
know.
are smoking
But
the
I'm always
dudes,
the opposite
you know?
of most people. I'm like the advocate. I'm like, you know what? Just because her sisters and I doesn't mean she can't enjoy life.
Doesn't mean she can't have a healthy relationship with drugs
alcohol and drugs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so that's it for Gia. All that's left, as far as characters go, are the question of who else is getting their own episode. Here's what we got. People think Daniel, Ethan, BB, and Natalie, Nate's prom date, are getting their own episodes. No. What do you make of that foursome?
So as much as I love BB, no.
No,
she's
I
not.
agree. BB is not.
She's a great
There's
character.
no fucking way Natalie is getting her own
BB
episode.
wasn't even invited to prom.
No,
So like, no.
BB and Natalie are hard-nosed. Daniel and Ethan, possible.
The only reason I say no is because I don't really think Daniel is a part of the clan at all. He's like a very like... We already know what we need to know.
He's intertwined enough with the cast,
True.
though, that he could be a big part of season 2 if they wanted him to be.
Sure, but
he could be dropped, but he could be there.
Sure, but I think it's very clear he doesn't have any emotional ties to anybody, meaning like he yelled at Cassie and was a huge dick, but then he went and fucked Kat. So he's not like attached to anybody. That's what I mean. Like, I think the doors have all closed. Like, there's nothing to go back to. It's like, sure, Cassie and him like have this little thing, but I don't think he has any like motive to like bring that back up or resurface it because he doesn't like Cassie. He literally said, "You're boring and you're a piece of shit."
All I mean is they gave him enough screen time and story in season 1 that if they wanted, he's set up to be a part of season 2
Totally.
if they want him there, and if he is, I could see him getting his own episode. I think the same about Ethan. I think it's I could definitely see more us
Ethan
getting
than
an
Daniel.
Ethan episode. Yeah, I agree. I think Ethan is most likely. Daniel second. BB and Natalie, no fucking
No way. And also, just one more note. I think, too, we have to remember that a lot of these side characters in season 1, even though they didn't have an episode, you do learn a lot about them. So maybe we'll just get more about Daniel and Ethan without them having like, their own episode.
That's very possible. All right, so that's it for our characters. So let's talk about new characters. So... we got 5 roles that we know that they were casting for Euphoria season 2. So I'm just going to
list them off
quickly.
quickly.
Go through them and let's see what we think about them. We got Darian, 17, any ethnicity, an outsider, sensitive, vulnerable, mischievous, definitely not the cool kid at school, but one of the more interesting kids. Could struggle with addiction.
Interesting. So
to me, this screams a Rue or Jules love interest. I think all the characters on the show have kind of like 2 types as far as love interests go. And I think this is like the Rue, Jules, Kat. They're kind of like a type. They have a type, and I think this is their type.
Really?
Yeah.
Or I was thinking, just as you read that, because I haven't thought about this, by the way, until Alex is just now reading it out loud. I think maybe it could be a friend to take the place of Jules while Jules is off in the city during the summer. I think Rue could become close with someone that kind of almost
doesn't have to be a love
not
interest.
like replaces her, but is just kind of like a homie, like been through the same shit.
Yeah, I could see it. All right, so next we got Ray, 17, any ethnicity.
Oh, they gave it a name.
Yeah, they all have names.
Oh.
The last one was Darian. This is Ray.
Darian?
Attractive with an edge, working class, pure heart, scrappy but a fighter. Not verbose or educated, but has all the words he needs. Attractive in a real and accessible way. Might be going nowhere in life, but has a smile so genuine, it's not depressing.
So this could be the perfect boy for Cassie, and she rejects him.
To me, this screams a Cassie or Maddie.
I was going to say Maddie.
This is like their type. This is the other type. I think Cassie and Maddie are into like more traditional, like
macho,
masculine men, like, and this could be an interest for them. It
definitely sounds like an interest more than a homie that's gonna hang out with everybody.
No, this feels like a Cassie or Maddie love interest for me. I almost feels a little more like a Maddie love interest to me after Nate having someone that's kind of like outside of like society a little bit, more like working class, but is really good to her.
Yeah.
And also this person could be kind of like, I could see this person being kind of like hood in a good way.
Yeah,
and
or
her being
popular,
into that. I think she
or
could be into that.
or because she's so egotistical, he could also be popular for some reason, but is a different type of popular, like the nice kind. You know what I mean? Like, not a popular kid, like a jock, but he might be like well known because it says what did it say about his smile? He has an authentic like.
It said might be going nowhere in life, but has a smile so genuine it's not depressing.
Interesting. I don't know. My thought always goes to Maddie is so full of ego that I can't imagine her just liking someone for liking them. I feel like they have to have some kind of incentive, which I hate to say that because I love Maddie, but like I think that. So I don't know. A part of me thinks maybe he is the new kid in school and he's kind of nerdy, but like he has a lot of attention on him. So she's trying to
I don't know. This doesn't scream nerdy at all or popular to me. This is like the outsider.
That's true.
This
working
is like
class
the
outsider.
Working class,
the pogue,
like,
if you will.
Pure heart, scrappy but a fighter. Like this isn't like the popular kid. This is like I think this is like the new kid in school who's like no one really gives him much attention, but not the cool new kid. This is like the like outsider new kid, but he's
cool.
Hot and he's like kind of like
cool. I'm saying anyone that's new is kind of a hot commodity no matter what.
No, I don't know. I've been new and I sure as shit wasn't a hot commodity.
Okay, anyways, yeah. I mean they're all good.
Right.
Whatever. Good character.
So
I'm intrigued. I want to know.
Next we got Amy, 18 to 20s, drug addict, stripper, hates her boyfriend, talks shit, can't read a room, has a big mouth, can make a bad situation worse.
I can't wait for this.
Is this BB 2.0?
I think so.
I don't know.
I think this is someone Rue will meet. I think Rue will have to go to rehab after overdosing. Meaning, like, I don't think they're going to show us the whole journey.
Yep.
I think if anything, it'll open. If it was my ideal, one of my predictions is it'll obviously be summertime. So in my head, I'm thinking while everyone else has been carrying on with life, Rue's had to take a step back and go back to rehab, and maybe she meets someone and we don't get the whole story, but we get her coming out with this girl who may be like ratchet and funny and they're like homies. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think she's a love
interest.
I have
some theories that I'll get into later about how this character might fit in. So next we got Serena, 50s, Caucasian, sassy and tough, a real character. The kind of woman who partied her whole life and attended every Whitesnake concert, and now she has several different hustles just to make a living.
What's a Whitesnake concert?
Whitesnake's a band, a hair metal band from the 80s.
Oh, interesting. So you were saying you thought this was a detective, right?
No, I don't think the Whitesnake concert, who has to work several different hustles to make a living, is also a detective.
All right. The drink is hitting me. It's like, we're almost wrapped up here and the drinks are hitting.
Yeah, I have some theories about this collectively as well that I'll talk about in a second.
Okay. I have just so you know, for me, I have nothing to say about that. I'm also a little tipsy, but I really don't know what I would even guess who that was.
So last we got Lita, female, 40s, any ethnicity, a foster mom with bills to pay. Seems like an average regular person, but can be a ruthless businesswoman if you cross her. And this is who I get detective vibes from. Like, I think...
Wouldn't they say in the description, though, like detective, so that they get someone that's played those roles before?
I don't know. We'll see. But I get detective vibes for this role.
Summarizing all that, though, I feel like none of those characters link together at all, really. Right. Other than, like, the two that are addicts. Maybe they're, like, friends. I don't know. But, like, it's only strange because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to think of all this.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. So after that, we just have theories about potential new characters. Okay. This is just bullshit that people think is going to show up in season 2. One person thinks Roddy Ricch and G Herbo are in season 2. I found zero evidence that this is true.
Why is that a thing?
So that's absolute bullshit.
Isn't he the guy that sings the box?
Yeah. So one person says, I really want to see a character who has a helicopter mom.
What?
Why?
That's so boring.
But I will say that is an archetype that fits very well with this show that we haven't seen. We've seen the offbeat drunk mom. We've seen the attentive single dad. We've seen the like hassled like single mom. We haven't seen a helicopter mom, and I could see
Rue and Jules are the only ones that really come from parents that pay attention.
Yeah.
Like, Lexie's mom is cool.
There's a couple others that pay attention.
But she's kind of letting her daughter do some things I wouldn't let my daughter do.
Kat's mom pays kind of attention. She sees her taking feet pics and doesn't do anything about it, which is a little sus. But...
No, she's a good mom.
Okay, so this next person thinks, I really want them to explore eating disorders. I don't know which character would be more prone to have one, or maybe they'll introduce someone new. but I think the show could absolutely portray it in a refreshing and thoughtful way.
Nope. This goes back to what we said earlier. We're not just throwing in social issues and
We're not gonna reach
mental...
in the grab bag and just rummage around for a social issue and throw it at the wall.
Sorry. I mean, sad that like someone... Meaning, there's a show out there for you, but it's not Euphoria.
And we don't need to say this again, but the next 3 points are all from the same grab bag. So next we got, I'd love to see them add a first-generation American student. And then after that we have, I really want a femme gay boy to join the school and pique Nate's interest.
No, don't.
And then after that we got, I feel like someone has to have a near-death experience at some point. Not through overdose, but through something like a car accident or a shooting, etc.
Good Lord.
So,
and you know what's
now we're even out of the grab bag of like social issues to where we're including like near-death experience. Why not?
Why not?
Throw it in there.
But you know what's sad? You know what sucks is like that's what every show does.
I know.
To be fair, these fans that are reaching out and saying this, it's because they're relating these ideas to what they know, which is every show has to have some kind of mass shooting or awful thing at the end. It's like
every show has to have a first-generation American student, at least one eating disorder. We gotta have a femme gay boy.
But make sure we also throw in the lesbian who's autistic. Let's not forget the lesbian.
Don't forget the autistic asexual
you know what? I would
lesbian.
really love to see someone with diabetes. It's like, just shut up.
Yeah, where's the diabetes
so
storyline? We need diabetes.
This is just too much. Like, here's the thing.
God damn.
And I'll end it with this.
Man.
I do love... I love nothing more than a story that's real. But it's so silly. It's like, we don't need to have all these things in one story. It's just, I can't emphasize more. I'm on a soapbox, but like, that is something I really hate about, I don't know what you would say, our culture or our millennial, like, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's like this idea that like, we have to always tell every single story, and if it's not told, it's not okay. It's like there has to be a lesbian, there has to be someone who's trans, there has to be someone with diabetes. It's like, no, there doesn't have to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Every story is different. And guess what? This is about Sam Levinson's life and his addictions and the people around him during that time. Mm-hmm. This is not about every fucking social issue there is in the world. So like, let's just calm down. And let's just stick to the story.
Yeah, we're in like a weird time where if a show is progressive in some way, there's like this weird pressure from just the general population for that show to be progressive in every possible way. And it's like, Euphoria is very progressive in lots of ways, but that doesn't mean that they need to go in on every single possible thing or that all those things make any sense with the story they're trying to tell.
Well, and you know what?
Like, because this is a story with a trans character doesn't mean it has to be a story about a character with an eating disorder.
Well, what if
if that makes sense, it's not bad, but it doesn't mean you just throw it on there.
No, and what if I always said? I mean, I really value that. Actually, I've always said I wanted to talk to someone that's gone through something kind of like Jules' character, because I think it's one of the first shows, and you can think of something, if you think of something, let me know, but it's one of the very first shows I've ever seen in my lifetime of a character who is transgender, but that is not, it does not define who they are. There's no drama surrounding it. It's like, we know Jules for Jules. Mm-hmm. We know that she's trans and she's going through this journey, but that is not what defines her. We know so much about her, and that's so cool. I hate these shows where it's like, that's their label and that's that, and that's all we're going to talk about. Yeah. And Euphoria does such a good job of making it a normal story, because guess what? Yep. People who are transgender have normal lives. They don't go around only talking about that. Does that make sense? Like, there's layers. Like,
and
they have
I think it's because stories like that come off very heavy-handed and very ham-fisted, and it makes it feel
I'm not saying you should glide past it, but I'm saying Euphoria does such a good job of not making that the center of attention.
Character and that story are almost like a sideshow, where it's like, everybody come look, we're telling this dramatic-ass story about this character, as opposed to like, we're telling a great, well thought out, interesting narrative based on this character who's having this issue,
to go through this journey.
And these issues are part of their story, but it's not like, hey everybody look, we made a show about a trans person, which is what a lot of these like really shitty like ABC Family type shows feel like they're doing. It's like, everybody look, we got a show about eating disorders now.
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
we got a show about teen moms. Like, And
it's like
just
you
so
want to go
heavy-handed.
deeper, and Euphoria goes
Yeah.
really deep in my opinion, and I love it. It's so beautiful, and that's why, like, even though we laugh and joke, I'm also like, but no, like, Euphoria does it so well. So yeah, it is funny when people are like, can we please throw in an eating disorder? It's like, fuck
Right.
off. Like,
And
the show's
ultimately-
so good as it is.
And we
like,
can acknowledge that, like, it's better to have shitty, ham-fisted, like, over stupid stories about those people than have them not represented at all.
exactly.
So, like, yeah, I mean, I guess, like, I it's not even I guess. I see the value in those shows existing, but that's not what Euphoria is. It's clearly, like,
it's a different
a
type of
little
narrative.
more of a nuanced narrative than, like, hey, here's our gay show. Like,
Well,
and
and
it's
also-
great that those exist, because
Yes.
you gotta move things forward, and the part of that is that you have really shitty, stupid,
But-
ham-fisted shows, but there's no nuance there. It's not
No.
subtle.
I've made Alex
It's
watch a
just
lot of shows with me.
generally pretty bad.
Alex is a trooper. He will watch any show with me. And I think this is the first show I made you watch where you agreed with me that that was not the case with this one. You don't watch this and go, oh God, of course there's this storyline. It's like it all makes sense. Everyone has a purpose. The narrative flows. There's no weird, like,
Yeah.
you know, they're not going, oh, guess what? Season 2, Lexie is on the autistic spectrum. Like, that's
Yep.
not a thing. It just, it flows. It's beautiful.
Yep. Also, I'll say this: you can only juggle so many fucking storylines, and
It's
Euphoria
really hard, and you have
has
to
a
do your
lot
research.
of storylines. Like they
Yeah.
pushed it a little bit, but like we got online financial domination, cam girls
Abortion.
with pay pigs. We got abortion. We got trans. We got lesbian.
Honestly,
we got rape. We have guy on guy rape. We've got video
Yeah.
sex tapes.
Yeah.
Like we've got blackmail. We've got
Exactly. So
a lot
they've
of
got
shit
a big
in
bag.
Euphoria.
They've got a big
They
bag.
have put enough pieces on the table to juggle. We don't need to throw more shit into the
No. We can move on. Alex and I just
All
feel
right.
really strongly.
Yep.
No, I will say, though, the reason we got on this rant, I realized we're like, oh man, we've been talking about this for 10 minutes, but it's because you and I are very similar. We're like, we don't like when this shit happens because we grew up in, well, we both lived in Portland for 5 years, a place where, like, a lot of times this is the case, where everyone feels like every story has to be told, and if it's not, it's offensive. It's like, there has to be every issue involved. And I'm kind of
Yeah.
like...
Pieces of art that are progressive are instantly expected to start including or like covering like all
Everything.
progressive issues. Which
you
is
have to
like
take it one step at a time.
yeah, it's
And honestly,
lot.
you can't, how can you cover any social, political, anything, any type of issue? How can you really dig deep and like make it beautiful if you're trying to tackle like 12 to 15 issues instead of
course.
looking at one? But
and
anyways,
where do you draw the line? I mean, the diabetes
Exactly.
thing is funny because it's like, all right, say we get the eating disorder, we get the first generation American student, we get the femme gay boy. Like, now what does everyone want? Now we're on to like we want diabetes representation. Like after that, what do we want? Do
I
we
know.
want like garbage man representation?
I don't know.
Like
Someone who's a janitor. I
And,
mean,
like,
it's like,
it's never gonna be enough. So it's about trying to tell like
like,
a well told.
I have crabs. Let me tell my
emotional,
story. Like, I
Great
don't know.
story, but you gotta manage your focus. You can't
Yes.
just include everything. Pick
No.
your battles, pick your stories,
And-
and tell quality, good, well thought out stories with real, developed, realistic characters
Yes.
within those like storylines, and that's like
Amen.
effective
Cheers to
storytelling.
that, Alex. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Also, yeah, I'm not even gonna go because we could keep talking and talking, but I will just say I'll end it with Sam Levinson did a beautiful job with this narrative and did not at all stray away from, you know, the ups and downs of addiction. I know that that was the focus of this. It's very clear, and I appreciate that. And sure, like you said, there's still a big bag in Euphoria of other issues, but they all link together and make this beautiful
They tell
story.
a coherent, well told,
Yes.
well developed story. All right, moving
That
on.
was like our first time going
That was a
off.
rant.
That was a rant. Sorry.
All right, here we go. This is the end.
The
All
drinks are
that's
hitting.
left is we're just going to talk about our theories. And
Our personal
we
theories,
don't
right?
have many, but here's what I got. Yeah, just
So
our
these are
personal theories for
Alex's
season 2.
season 2 theories.
I kept these brief, and here's what we got. I think, theory 1, I think they're going to try to redeem Nate. I think this is very much going to happen. We saw enough seeds of it in season 1. I think season 2 is going to try to redeem Nate, to make us feel more empathy for him and to make him a character that's not an awful piece of shit. which I am not here for. I'm going to be pissed if this happens. I said it while I was watching Euphoria for the first time. I was like, God damn it. In season 2, they are going to redeem this character. And it's going to be like what you talked about, where it's like
13 Reasons
13's Reason Why. You can't feed us this line that this character is an absolute goddamn piece of shit in every possible way, and then like make them empathetic and redeem them in like a couple episodes. And I have a pretty serious fear/feeling that this is what they're going to try to do. That's all. Next theory. I think the scope for season 2 is going
Meatball just sneezed. Yeah, sorry, we're laughing. Really
so I think in season 2, we're going to see the scope expand from like high school kids to this being a show. No, this is going to be, I think this is going to be a show about their like small town. And I think that's where these new characters fit in. I think we're going to move a little bit into like a seedy underbelly of the suburbs / like criminal element of this town vibe, which they kind of set up a little bit with Fezco as a character. And I think that makes a lot of sense with our new characters, Amy and Serena, the drug addict stripper, and the Caucasian like white snake hustler woman who's partied her whole life. Like these are... To me, these are street characters. These are people living outside the norms of society. They're involved probably lightly to moderately in crime.
And maybe drugs, like maybe Fezco's working with this seedy 50-year-old. You don't know.
I don't know. I think Fezco and his storyline is going to be our introduction into the wider world of like the criminal underbelly of this small town.
That's a good prediction.
And characters like this, like these characters, these older people that are still kind of in the crime world, lead me to believe that that's how they're going to be getting pulled in, and that's kind of the direction some of our main characters are going to get caught up and going.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry, this is really off topic, but I thought one of the characters was supposed to be into Cowboy Bebop. Did we miss that one?
I think they are, but it might have been like a different character description. I think that's that person, Darian. I think they're supposed to be into
one of them's in an anime.
Yeah.
I just wanted to double check. Sorry, I'm just thinking future for my predictions.
Yes,
yeah, okay.
They did. I think there were different character descriptions released for these characters. I'm pretty sure that relates to Darian.
Also, Alex is making me watch Cowboy Bebop, and the first episode was really good. Maybe we'll watch the second one tonight. Who knows?
We should. Please put all the pressure on Paige to watch Cowboy Bebop or any other anime, because I am struggling to get her into anime a little bit. And I've been trying for months. It's hard.
I'll work on it. If our fans want me to, I will.
Tell her. Put the pressure on. And here's my last theory, which is just that there will be a large portion of season 2 will focus on like the police investigation. I think they set up enough criminal shit going on in season 1 that they can't really avoid it at this point, and we're gonna have to get a bunch of police investigation shit in season 2. I think that's where this Lita character, that's why I'm like, maybe this is a detective. This sounds like the tough lady cop they have like looking into this shit. I'm not really a big fan of this theory. I think it's very likely, but I don't like it because I feel like Euphoria is at its weakest when it's doing like legal bullshit, like Nate's threats and the cops and all Nate getting all these people to go to the cops. Like none of that really made much sense or checked out. So I hope they don't go in this direction, but I think they're going to, and I'm a little worried about it because this isn't a legal procedural or a cop show.
This isn't Law and Order. Yeah.
Like Euphoria thrives on like teen drama, and teen drama does not have to involve like lengthy police investigations into like local pedophiles and like blackmail schemes and all this. Like I think this could be a weak point. We'll see. Maybe they'll do a great job with it. Maybe that won't be in there at all, but those are my theories.
Those are great. I actually don't have anything really to combat with that. Mine are kind of all over the place. And honestly, I didn't even write them down. I'm just going to wing it. So here I go. I think Rue, it will start out with, obviously, in my head, Rue coming out of some sort of rehab. I think, obviously, this is a huge deal to her family. And I think that is why Gia will have an episode. I think we're really going to get more on Rue's family. I know we've already got, like, quite a bit. But I think there's a lot more to be told. So I think we will get more on that. I think she'll come out of rehab with a new friend, which I only thought of this because once you read the cast, I was like, oh yeah, I think she's definitely going to come out with a new buddy. And I think that's a good plot line because I think I don't agree with all these fans. I think Rue and Jules will just be like head to head, like piss at each other, and we'll be like dating new people and yada yada. I don't think it's going to be that dramatic. I honestly think she's going to come out, and I think her and Jules will be okay. Like, I think they'll come to an understanding. They both have always been very mature in their relationship, even when things get really bad. So I think they're going to be okay, but I think there's going to be tension, and I think they're both going to have different people in their lives that might add to that tension, if it's romantic or not. Because when you're in a friendship, you get jealous of other friends, right? So that's what I see. I don't really see a romance, like love triangle. I see more of Rue's met someone in rehab and Jules is jealous.
Or this is where Lexie could come in a better way, and Rue and Lexie are just closest friends
Closer friends.
This point. Yeah.
I think it'll be more of a friendship battle than it will be like romance. I don't know why. That's just what I get.
All right.
I think
I'm here for
Maddie, for some reason, I have a feeling, as much as I love her, I think she's going to fuck up. I think she's going to watch the tape and talk to Nate before she talks to somebody else, which is bad because Nate will somehow manipulate her into not releasing the CD.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That's my Maddie. I won't go too much deeper into that. Cassie, I'm honestly at a loss. I have no idea. I love your idea of her becoming like a Bible thumper. I mean,
not my idea. Some
fan's idea.
Some internet character's idea, but I liked it.
Yeah, I think that's funny. It's out there. Other than that, I've racked my brain. I can't think of anything. I don't think she'll be with McKay. I think she's kind of like refreshed. I think she'll always love McKay and like you were a good part in my life. Yeah. I think he's gonna move on too. I think it'll be a happy, healthy break. Lexie, honestly, like I have nothing because like we said, there is not a lot to go off of, and I'm excited to hear more, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I think Lexie's autistic and is gonna have this different life in season 2. It's so stupid. I don't know anything. Other than that, as far as theories go, I'm just excited. I'm praying to all the gods that, like you said, I really hope they don't give Nate, a get out of jail free card. And my other big qualm is that I just hope that this doesn't turn into a filler season, is what I call it, where they just kind of go over logistics and set it up for season 3.
Yep.
I hope it's better than season 1, which is really hard because season 1 was done so well. So that's
you
all
and
I
I
have to
talked
say.
a lot about that, but a season 2, there are so many amazing shows out there that have a really rough season 2, and season 2 is hard to do. And a lot of great shows die after season 2 because season 2 was so bad.
And the only hope I have, which I told Alex earlier, is that Sam Levinson in many interviews said he's always known where each character is going to go.
Yep, that gives me hope.
Same.
That's always a good sign.
It is a good sign because it's not that the season ended and then he was pressured by HBO to write another season and then to just come up with a bunch of bullshit like an eating disorder or autism.
Right.
So yes. But
we'll
I don't have
see.
anything else that's that cool. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, the pressure is on for season 2 to be banging. We all want it. You all want it. So we'll see what happens sometime.
We're so excited too.
At some point in the future, years from now, we'll get to watch season 2.
And hopefully I'll be able to have my Euphoria birthday party because that's all that's really important.
Yep.
But anyways, I will end it by saying thank you, Alex, for doing all your research. I joke around about Alex being like, this side character on my podcast, but that is not the case. We both put so much work into this, and Alex really researched the fuck out of these theories. Also, so thank you, Alex. You can take a drink of your beer and be proud of yourself.
I'm happy to help. I still am the weird side character, but I'm happy to contribute some weird internet theories where I can, because I love a good weird internet theory.
I know you do. I will also say, again, 1,000,000 times over, thank you to our fans, listeners, followers on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, that wrote in, gave us these predictions to even discuss. We're at almost 1.4 thousand listens. That's incredible. I mean, like I said, we literally thought our family would just be listening to this and our friends. And to think that 1.4 thousand of you have listened in is just crazy. So thank you so much. Next Tuesday, we have an episode planned. We are going to do a juicy scoop of Alex and I's high school past.
Yes, which could not be more different.
Yes, we have complete opposite high school histories. But that being said, we definitely wanted to still be related to Euphoria, meaning ask us any questions. A lot of you said you want to hear about our lives in relation to some of the show topics. meaning like addiction, sex, awkward moments in high school, you name it, we want to give it to you. So I will be posting on our Instagram, our Twitter, and our Facebook, and I would love for you all to participate. Ask us anything. We are open books. We are not shying away, even if it's awkward as fuck, which it absolutely will be, because
it always is. High school always is.
High school is always tough. So all of you high schoolers or anyone of any age, just ask us your questions and honestly go hard. We want the juicy ones. I want to be like challenged. I don't know about you, Alex, but I want to answer like the tough questions.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
I'm just so excited. So we will be doing that next Tuesday. That will be our episode. It'll be a high school juicy scoop. So tune in. We are so excited. Once again, just thank you for listening. We're like waiting for season 2 with anticipation.
So much.
I mean,
see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday, which we always laugh. We haven't even brought up yet. We didn't realize that we were always saying see you next Tuesday, but I feel like it's very fitting. I feel like Maddie would like it. So see you next Tuesday. Alex did. I did not. So see you next Tuesday. Imagine me kicking over a chili pot at the carnival as I say that. Like, see you next Tuesday.
All right, Paige. That's so euphoric.
Cheers. That is so euphoric. See you next Tuesday.